that meme?
What is that meme?
Um,
2 seconds in.
hey guys, well
Oh, we're live.
yes, we are live. Welcome back to the Adventures of Venuru. Alright, and this is how we're starting. Episode 5. Today,
5.
we have with us, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Go from top to bottom on the Discord.
Evan's busy.
Evan.
Hey guys, I'm Skylar, and I play Ilphus Alistar, also known as Ilphus Pirate Keeper.
Right, Keeper.
Hey, my name's Seth, and I play Morark.
I'm Nathan, and I play Reddit.
I'm the only John here this week, and I play Cyphus Willowglade.
Yeah, John is not here to play his role as Arrakis, and unfortunately will also not be here next weekend.
Finally. Oh, I mean, that's...
We need to talk about banning him from future...
Banning him. Get bad.
activity.
Alright, sorry about that.
Dude, you ever get, like, hungry, but, like don't want to eat? Like, I should say, like, I want to eat.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean. I was out shopping for, like, about 2.5 hours, and then I was like, I'm hungry, and I get home, I'm like, I don't want to eat.
Alright. So,
I'm also starving. Call the police.
in the last session, the party finally made it to Stellawall, specifically in its capital, Najima. The party ran towards the Cathedral of Tiana and met the High Priest Alexander, a very good-looking for his age, older man, who assisted in healing Aster's condition. You also met the scientist of the church, Darium. They successfully extracted Aster's corrupted blood, which seemed like a lot of blood for one human body. Alexander offered the party a stay at the cathedral, and the party rested well. The party got up and did some minor tasks, and set up for Ores Are Us, and purchased some overpriced ore.
Fuck that guy.
Before Raditz and Morik headed to Blevengree's Wondrous Wares, and meet a wandering half-elf named Davin, while
Dovin.
Ilphus and Cyphus are left alone at the cathedral. The game's now in your hands.
What? That fast? God damn it.
I thought we were going to the pub.
I'm still shamelessly promoting our...
Yeah, that's where we left off, is where Morark, the quote-unquote stranger, and then Raditz were all headed to the bar for story time.
Yeah, you're all heading to the bar currently. There are 2 bars in Stellawall. There's the High Pearl, a very expensive place of stay.
Nope.
And the Maroon Crook, a very average paying
We're
tavern.
going there.
I think Morark would also prefer to go there.
I don't know what we're doing. Oh, wait! Didn't we...
Yes, Davin was introduced, and you wanted to go to the bar to talk about your backstory.
Well, it wasn't
David.
just that. Also,
Everybody else, joined in.
yeah, everyone else joined up as well. So.
Oh,
I'm still... It's just me and Cyphus.
Also,
yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
what
to
I was
stay
saying.
in
Cyphus and
Ilphus.
Ilphus are back at the cathedral alone. However, did Aster catch up last time?
Pretty sure he did, yeah.
Okay. Then, what'd you guys like to do?
Head inside to the pub, I guess.
Yeah, we'll head inside.
Go to the average quote-unquote one.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You enter into a very warmly lit, kind of homey tavern. There is a lot of customers roaming the inside at tables or at the bar. And working at the bar is currently standing on the bar himself is a halfling. And he's picking up drinks, hopping back down, going to the back room, and bringing out drinks.
All right.
Valid.
What are we doing? Sorry, I was sending out Discord stuff.
I sit down at the bar
I'll join Raditz.
and I sort of gesture for Daven to take a seat.
I will
Fine,
also
thank
join
you.
the table.
I have to do this voice. God damn it.
You also have to do Cyphus's voice.
Yeah, good job,
I'm kidding.
fuck.
All right. Hold on. Let me get my. I'll do this.
Just remember, you have to swap between two voices as well. So, I mean, I got Raditz's locked down right now.
Is the barkeep near us right now?
He's busy coughing.
Say again.
No, it's something Nathan said. The barkeep walks over on the bar table.
On the bar table? Like
Yeah.
he is on it?
Yes, he's standing on it.
Is he a gnome?
He's a halfling.
Okay.
He walks over and he says, "What can I do you for?"
Hey, stranger, what do you drink?
Well, I don't drink much, but when I do, I drink those. Don't get that. God damn it! I ruined the joke.
Yugo
You really
Wagateki no Korao.
God damn.
Zekis.
You're not very good at this.
Don't worry, Carson. I thought that was funny.
Calm down. You may have messed up a joke, but we're here to drink.
Well, I don't do much drinking myself, but I like to smoke. And he'll pull out like some like. I don't want to say this on Twitch because it's like, you know.
Weed.
A lighter.
He'll pull out a lighter and
Whoa.
some substance.
Some leafy substance.
Is it meth?
Is it tobacco?
No,
Is
Is it shrooms?
it is tobacco. Yes.
Straight heroin.
I don't think you
Guys,
smoke heroin.
know
we're
that
live on twitch.tv/adventure.
I mean, we love validity. We love validity. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. I am Lord. Yeah.
Guys, no one's gonna report us. We're too small.
Well, so, yeah, he'll just start to smoke.
Alright, Raditz, what do you like to drink?
I'll just have water.
Just water, okay. Well, seeing as, nobody else is drinking, I'll just take a water as well. Barkeep, 2 waters, please.
Gotcha. And he hops back down. Actually, he doesn't hop down yet. Blonde-haired fellow.
Yes, hello. I'll just take something basic. Little bit of alcohol, but nothing's too strong.
He'll hop down behind the bar, and he'll walk towards the back room, and he'll come out with, about a minute or two later, come out with 2 waters, and he'll kind of jump up and set them on the bar table, and then push it towards Morak, or Raditz and Morak. Morak, you ordered water, correct?
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Um,
I got a text from my wife. I apologize.
he'll head back, and
Ooh.
Shut the fuck up.
he'll come back out with a smaller kind of shot glass of
Oh, that's the Obama ring.
yellowish
Sorry, I didn't say that
liquid,
loud.
and
Yep.
he'll come back out with a smaller shot glass of yellowish liquid, and he'll set it in front of Aster.
Thank you kindly.
Water. Oh God, I lost the voice now.
What are you doing?
Water's free.
Yes, that's why I ordered one.
The alcohol, about 5 copper.
That's why I ordered water.
How does the water...
I see this as I take the water and
I'll take
drink
5
it.
copper and hand it to him. There you go.
Thank you. He'll get back down to the other side of the bar, and he'll continue dealing with the other patrons at the bar.
How does the
Yes.
water taste?
It tastes
Wet.
It's not It's not like tap water.
It's not
The current
disgusting.
pH level,
How much lead is in my water?
essentially.
Enough.
Half of it is lead.
Damn. I'm
How many
dead.
chemicals are in here to try and make me gay?
Well, you're not a frog, Mark,
Yeah, so you're fine,
you
you're-
should be
I'm
fine.
half frog, damn it.
No, you're half orc. I'm a half bullywug.
You are currently left at your wits at the bar table.
Alright, what is your story now, stranger? What faraway lands have you come from, and what tales have you?
And he'll take you'll see a bunch of smoke come out of his mouth. Well, you can see that his eyes are visibly like a little more red.
Yo, it's getting dank in here.
It is getting quite dank in here. Where I come from, well, I come from a land of a small village, not too large. My father was a great swordsman.
He was great, you say. What might his name have been?
I didn't really get this far in the backstory.
Uh-oh.
I almost said Dave, and I'm like, no.
My name is Dave. Hello, I am the legendary swordman, simply named Dave.
No title.
I don't know. I didn't think
No
I'd get
legendary.
this far.
I thought you guys would have killed me already. You're so bad, Jay. Come on, bro.
Allow us 5 minutes while Jay finishes.
Sorry.
And this has been our next episode. See you next time. All right.
Sorry.
Good night, everybody.
Do you need a minute?
I'm going on fantasy name
What do
generator.
you want to do, Aster? What do you
Motherfucker.
want to do, Aster?
Alright, so I'd like to smell this yellow liquid. What does it smell like?
It's kind of sour.
What? No, I'll give it a light sip. What's it taste like?
It's kind of bitter when you drink it.
Let's see.
Has Aster ever consumed alcohol?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Let's
seeing
say-
that he got the amnesia.
Let's say you
For a moment,
haven't-
I said, "How the fuck do you not know?"
How old is Aster?
I don't know.
Yeah, technically, Aster only knows his name, and that's it.
I mean, if you want to get technical, our ASMR technically is living like for like a long time.
But he
No,
doesn't
he
know
doesn't
that
know
he's
that.
I
Aster.
don't know how old I am. Okay, I just have a
Hey,
name.
like,
Actually,
He
retard.
could be 20. He could be 200.
Real
You don't
retard
fucking
levels.
know.
I could be fucking 5. I don't know.
quality of 200.
Anyway,
I don't-
Aster,
Yeah,
roll a Constitution save for me.
I'll roll a Constitution save. 1 moment. Gotta get these dice to the side in a second.
Got his name, by the way.
Right.
So I got a 19 plus whatever my con is.
Okay. It's very bitter, and you've never had it before. But you managed to wolf it down.
Nice.
Wait. Did he wolf it down or did he woof it down?
Oh!
Have you never heard the term wolf it down?
No, it's woof it down. That's why.
Thanks, phone.
It's actually pronounced dire wolf it down in this story.
Dire wolf it down.
Like a wolf, but dire.
But dire.
Anyway, you finish your shot.
It's like bearing down, but a wolf. Or dire bearing down, I should say.
So yes, I consume alcohol.
There it
Mhm.
is. Just so I don't forget.
What
This is-
happened? Is it good?
We have
How
spent-
good does it
We have
taste?
now spent 15 minutes trying to decide how to drink alcohol.
Exactly. Now, just how does it taste?
One name.
It's bitter, but is it good? Do I enjoy it?
For your first time, it's weird to have, and it's kind of
Alright.
not that tasteful. But
Does it bring back any memories?
no.
Awesome. It's very nice. Thank you. Is it good enough that I would want to have another?
No!
I don't know. Would you like to ask?
Sky,
You know what?
stop
Well,
adding.
I will ask. I'll raise my hand, gesture towards the bartender, and ask for another one.
Oh my god.
All right, Sky. I'm gonna
It's
take away your
75
tap. I'm gonna take away your
No,
tap
please,
privileges.
no.
You are very distracting.
He doesn't, but I don't know. He's right. I don't. But we gotta put it on the screen when we release it on YouTube. People understand what we're talking
I didn't
about.
get this far. I don't know.
Can't. Okay, let's continue.
Let's try to focus, guys.
Alright, so I'll gesture the bartender over.
He'll run over. Another.
Excuse me. Yes, please. I'll pull out another 5 copper and hand it to him.
And he'll take it, and he'll take your glass, run back, and he'll come out with another glass.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Can you shut your phone off?
I wish it's a good idea. I don't know.
You don't know how to mute your phone.
Bruh.
Aster constantly saying, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I
just don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's my character right now, okay?
No, that's not your character, okay? People with amnesia still have motivation.
Exactly, but he
They
don't.
just don't have memories.
Exactly. Okay. Continue.
Come on now, get yourself together, people.
Exactly. So I'll have another I'll savor this one and take my time, but
Okay.
is
Have you
that a
got my name yet?
constitutional or?
No, you don't have
Alright.
to.
No.
Okay, cool.
Alright, what would you like, Mark?
Have you gotten the name yet, Jay?
Yeah, I got the name now.
Oh,
Okay.
I got the name now.
Okay, guys, you might laugh. Just don't, okay? It'll be hard.
Laugh. I'm gonna laugh.
Don't laugh. I get nervous.
Alright,
All right.
what is your father's name?
You see a large puff of smoke come out? Morth. Morth Youngblade.
He's named after a direction?
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand that one.
Oh, just making an observation. He's named after the direction north, yes?
No, his name is Morth with an M.
North, I see. Sorry, too much water, it seems.
No,
I got
it's
to cut
fine.
it back. So, where did you say he was from?
Far north. I can't quite remember at this point.
Far north.
Exactly.
You're funny. What did you say your name was?
Raditz. It's
Raditz.
not named after the direction.
Mm-hmm.
Sure
Say
it
that
is.
again.
It's not named after the direction.
Well,
Well, this is awkward. What tales do you have, stranger?
let me tell you. So, when I was younger, my father was a noble and well-renowned swordsman in my young town. But the problem was, he married an elf. And he, being a human, people didn't like that. It also could have been our wealth, it could have been a lot of different things. But one day, my parents were assassinated. and I knew that one day my death would come too. So, I picked up my father's sword, and I trained.
Well, thrilling backstory. We have somebody very similar. I think his name is Cyphus.
Oh, really? Parents
Yeah.
were also murdered?
It's almost like they were played by the same character. same
I don't recall that specific part, but I know he had a very tragic backstory.
Oh, I'd like to meet him.
Where is he at the moment? Radis, do you happen to know where Cyphus is?
I thought we left him back at the temple.
Nah, that fucker at Orzagas took him is what happened.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, 100% I'm sure of it.
Morak, I'd like you to roll a wisdom, or you can make it perception.
A wisdom save. Someone's attacking us, people!
It doesn't matter, that's my worst stat.
I roll insight.
Oh, a 16.
In addition to not knowing where Cyphus is, you also don't know where Rakus is.
That is very true, I do not know where Rakus is. Hey! Where's Rakus?
He's right there.
Where?
He's sitting next to you.
Oh, that's
I'm-
Raditz,
Yeah,
not
we
Rakus.
have another fellow with a very similar name.
Ah.
See, that's why normally when it comes down to it, I'm red and he's blue because the other one's blue.
Oh, understandable.
I must
What are you
continue.
folk doing here? What's
Well-
all of your quests?
Well, he got bitten by, and I don't know what the correct word would be, but a, necro something or other. Something very dangerous. So we had
Oh,
to
so
bring
that's
him
what I
in.
got bit by. Alright.
Well, I don't know the correct term, but it was necrotic, so it's a necro something or other until I know what
Some
it-
sort of undead thing. It
Oh.
spread some disease and,
Where
Yeah.
was
get
you bitten?
It hurt.
You could just amputate it.
well, we
Yeah,
were
but I
thinking
need-
about
I
that.
needed the
But
art.
we treated it. He's fine now. We got here.
Well, that's
It's taken
good.
care of.
Yeah, and I got a badass scar too, as I just show my scar.
Look
No,
how
I will
badass I
say,
am.
It's fucking
what was your name again?
Aster? Aster
Aster.
staff.
Well, Stab, I will say, this is my favorite kind of medicine. And he'll shake
Pass
his,
the Gucci
his
on the left
really?
hand side.
he'll shake
Might
his,
not have to.
you want to try?
Might as well. I'm always down for new things.
Of course. He'll pass over his drugs.
Alright, I'll give it a.
Now be careful.
I want Aster to make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh shit!
What a raw moment.
Alright, so what is that? 11, 12, 13, 14.
This
That was a
is
disadvantage?
almost worse than the alcohol, due to how much you intaked into your body.
Mhm.
You get very lightheaded immediately,
Whoa!
and you get very woozy,
Whoa!
and
What-
you
why
begin to
is-
fall out of your chair, and then you catch yourself on the bar.
David will elbow Morak and say, "See, it's someone's first time being high."
Because I got
Yeah.
high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
I mean, to
Oh.
be fair, I don't do that stuff either.
Yeah, I'm not too much of a fan.
I know it's not for everyone. Helps me calm my nerves.
Understand.
Some serious stuff.
Why, thank you.
And the unknown weird object. That...
Wait,
It's
but this is
from my
beside
own
the point.
village.
Where is Rakus?
Here's Racket. He's gone. Where's Blue?
Raditz, have you seen your counterpart?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Aster, have you seen Raditz's counterpart? Damn it!
I don't know.
Too much water. Ilfus.
Too much
I'm
water.
not here.
Say again.
I'm
He's
not here.
Oh, yeah, you're with Cyphus. I forgot.
None of us are here.
No
Well-
one is here.
Where is
Where is
everyone?
Ilfus?
Does anyone
he?
have message?
Do I? I don't
Message is not that great. It'd be more like sending, but that's a 3rd level spell. So
That's a 3rd level spell, so.
Real quick, I'm gonna look around the bar. Do I see anybody that looks like Arrakis?
I won't have you roll. No,
No to my question or no to rolling?
rolling.
Neither.
You don't see
Don't-
anyone. Well, wait. Sorry, your question. Roll. Yeah. Technically speaking, no to neither or either. You don't see
Neither.
anyone that looks remotely like Rakis. Nor do you
Okay.
see. Well, nor do I need you to roll.
Oh, you need me to roll?
Nor do I don't. I don't need you to roll.
Okay. So don't need me to roll, and there's nobody that looks like Arrakis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there another tiefling in the bar?
No.
Okay. So I can confirm that there is no Arrakis, potentially in disguise. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Aster. You remind me. I need to go back to Hazelgrave at some point. I need more of this stuff.
Whoa! What's Hazelgrave? Do I know what
You have no
Hazelgrave
clue.
is?
It's my hometown.
Oh.
My parents were murdered. You know, I do think that assassin might be after me one day.
It's possible. Maybe.
It's quite possible.
Hey,
Hearing
more.
about how-
What's with all the people with the tragic backstories and the lack of
I-
parents?
Does
I
David hear
honestly
this?
don't know.
Is who?
Does David hear that?
How quiet does Raditz want to make that?
I try to sort of like lean into Morak to make sure
If
I
you
can tell him quietly.
if you want to know, you can roll a perception check for.
Okay, I also don't have a character sheet.
So then just roll a d20.
Okay, I will
That's
just see
it.
what I get.
Yeah.
Where are my die? What?
Die.
Too busy playing League of Legends as always.
No, I don't know where they went. They were on my desk and now they're just gone.
They were on my desk 15 seconds
Bruh.
ago.
I got a bruh moment. What the bruh?
Bruh?
Bruh, dude. What the
What's a bruh?
It's a bruh moment. That's what it is. Oh my dice. Like legit. I don't have
Jesus
a
Christ.
set of dice. Hold on. Let me find one. Ugh.
Hey, perchance, am I hungry? Is Aster hungry?
No, I believe you guys ate in the morning.
Oh. They're
What
all in the
time?
old. Yeah, I didn't take them out of the bag from when we. That's why.
Wait a minute, what time did we eat? And what time is it now? No, wait, we ate in the morning. What time is it
You
now?
spent about. I would
There
say
we
you
go.
spent gathering all together. You went to the tailor.
Oh, that's an 18.
Okay, you hear what Raditz said. Gathering that you went to the tailor. You also went to Ors R Us. You ran back and forth about an hour.
So, David will lean over into them and say, you know, I don't think my backstory is that tragic. I'm quite content with what happened.
So you're content with your parents have dying?
Yes, death
That
comes
seems
first.
pretty grim, bro.
Well, I know that a lot of
It's
people
like
aren't
a
so,
win.
on board with death. But I like to think of myself as accepting of it. If death comes, it's inevitable.
It's
Why
like
try to
Logan.
run away from it? If it's here to come, embrace it. No, I'm
But
not
this-
saying for everyone to go kill themselves. God, no. But
But in your own words, if death comes, you may as well just accept it, yes?
yes, there's no sense in
Yeah,
running
you're
from
not
it.
being very consistent.
Now listen,
Exactly.
death comes naturally, whether it be someone looking to kill you or just old age. Everyone's going to die eventually. And I feel that death has a purpose for all of us. You know,
If I
every
may
person is
interject,
here.
though, if I may interject, though, I don't think it is natural causes for somebody to come and kill you. It is
No.
so you cannot say death comes naturally whether you die old age or somebody kills you.
Well, of
One is
course.
natural. One
But
is
I
natural.
mean that. Well, I'm not saying that I'm not going to defend myself if an assassin does show up. Of course, I want to live. But if I lose to an assassin, it's my time to die.
I don't see it that simple. See, that is why even when death is trying to embrace me, I fight back and I keep going as long as I can. Because it is not my time. I don't deserve to die yet. This person is coming in and trying to force me and death to meet early. I don't accept that.
Well, of course. But if death wants you alive, he'll keep you alive.
I disagree. I think death would just see it as, oh, I either get the soul or I don't. It either happens naturally or it doesn't.
Well, death kept me alive when my parents were assassinated.
Maybe. I wasn't there, so all I can do is take your word for it. But
Mm.
maybe. It's a shame death doesn't have the same, pity on other people that it has on you, it seems.
Yes. Not everyone's lucky to escape death so easily. But, if death comes for me, I'm not going to deny it.
Mark will kind of lean back in his chair and just be like, I would. And then he'll immediately sit up and be like, now, where's Rakis? I've been asking this question for forever. Should we go find him, or do you think he's okay, Radis?
I'm sure he's fine. I mean, the dude doesn't sleep, which is slightly concerning, but he didn't seem affected by it.
Oh shit! What if he passed out in an alley?
Well,
We might never see him again.
if I may ask, what race is he?
He's a tiefling, I think they're called. I don't meet many of them.
Tiefling. Well, that's
Yeah,
quite
like
I would
big
assume
horns.
need to sleep.
He's got blue skin. He's a hero, though, so he can take care of
Ah.
himself more than likely.
A hero. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, big, strong hero. He really cares for, innocence and protecting the weak.
Man of honor. I like that.
Well, I don't know about honor. I don't know him that well yet. But he's a nice person.
Oh, that's always nice to have.
Yes, it is. How much water do I have left?
How much do you want to drink of it?
I'm already
Uh,
done with my water.
Well, seeing as I'm a big boy, I would probably have downed like 2 or 3 glasses in each conversation, to be honest.
Okay.
And I'm exhausted, so body's burning more fuel to keep me awake.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Raditz, don't we need? Yeah, the church wants me to go take care of that.
Yeah, we should really get on that.
Yeah, but the issue is, I just traded in my greatsword to get it enchanted, so we'll have to wait for that.
Oh well,
Plus, I
I'll tell
am
you.
still tired.
I think I might have something for that.
What is it?
Well, I mean, not to brag, but smithing is my specialty.
This is true.
And
So what do you propose?
well, see, I happen to have all this ore with me now, and while your other great sword's getting enchanted, if you give me an hour, I can set you up with something.
Are you saying like a makeshift greatsword for temporary purposes?
Oh no, it'll be of high quality, of course, but it'll it'll be a replacement until you get your new one enchanted.
Rabbits, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. You're our lifesaver.
Oh no, I'm just a smith.
Nah, you're a lifesaver and a good friend, and I appreciate you. Let me know when I can return the favor.
Oh well, you know, I'm just here for coin until I can make my way. You'll just have to pay me back for it later.
True enough, true enough. How much would it cost to make something like that?
I'd say about 50 gold pieces.
50 gold pieces. Alright, I'll keep
We'll
that in
just
mind.
call it debt for right now.
Yeah, I'll write an IOU. Do you have a napkin, bartender?
You see him break away from a customer, and he jumps back down to the other end of the bar, and he kind of rifles through a possible compartment in the back, and he pulls out a small napkin and places it in front of you.
Alright, thank you. I'll take my finger, like my thumb, and just kind of like slice it against one of my hand axes real quick. And then I'll write the letters I, O, and U. And then I'll hand it to Raditz.
Alright.
Jesus.
That way I won't forget, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not the wisest, and I kind of tap the side of my head.
Well, that's alright.
Stranger, that's something you could help us out with. There's a small issue. See, I'm what you could call a quote-unquote Templar or Crusader or whatever name you want to be bestowed upon me, for the Church of Tiana that's located here in Stellawall. See, I have a mentor, you could call him. His name is Professor Darium. He does all sorts of weird experiments, those kinds of things. Well, one of them escaped and is causing a ruckus inside of the city. If you were to help us out, I'm sure we could make it worth your while.
Well, I would love to, but I have to get going.
I understand.
I can't stay in this town for too long. I have to keep moving.
Well, where are you gonna be moving?
Wherever the path leads me. Probably to the next town over. I think I'll be making my way to Ven soon.
Let me give you a piece of advice. If you come across any orcs that happen to be wearing wolf pelt or have a tattoo of a wolf on them or anything, if you could, just like mark a tree or something along the path, just to let me know that they're in that area. They're not great folks. I wouldn't mind if you took any out, but at the same time, I'd appreciate it if you left them for me.
Trust me. He'll pull out his sword again. Shing!
God damn it.
I had to do it to him.
I'll leave a few for you.
Much appreciated.
Of course.
Don't get ahead of yourself, though.
Trust me. I've fought quite a few foe in my time.
Oh,
I'm
I have
thinking
no
anyone's
doubt.
killing me soon.
Well, I sure hope not. With how the, I guess you could say the world or wherever we are is going, we kind of need more adventurers like you to take care of the baddies out there.
Of course.
Well, it is perhaps best if we start heading out, right, Arditz?
Yeah.
Yes, I must go soon as well. But before I go, I would not mind meeting your other pals. In case we ever do meet up again. I'm always wandering, you could say.
It's very true. Well, we're missing a couple. That's Aster, you've already met him.
Of course.
Ilphus and Cyphus are somewhere in the town, but I have no idea where they are. You can't miss them, though. One's wearing a hood. He's a elf, I believe he is. and then the other one that's following him around has a bunch of chains on his hands.
Chains.
Yeah, I think he was a slave for a while, and they got enchanted onto him or something or other. You'll have to ask him about it.
Sorry. I'm like that one was supposed.
And then
He was-
Dracus, I have no idea where he is. He might still be back at the church. Do you think, hey, Lucky, do you think Morok would remember that he saw Arrakis on the roof?
But he was there, and you talked to him a little bit, and he kind of followed you. And then when you
Mhm.
started heading to Orzaras, you can't really exactly place where you started to leave, but he did start to follow you when you were leaving.
Okay, so he just kind of left after there?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where my mind would just kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
It's fuzzy. Well, the last place that I kind of remember him was around Orzaras, but who knows where the hell he went. Like I said, could still be at the church, could be at the shop, could be doing his own thing. I know he makes wood carvings. Who knows? Maybe he'll place them around and we have to find them and he'll clue us in on where he is like a scavenger hunt.
Well, I'll sure be on the lookout. And, your chains fellow. It's interesting. Do you
Yeah.
know anything else about him?
Well, of course, but it's more personal and I don't want to disclose that information to a stranger. No
Of
offense.
course. Understandable.
Have a nice day. But I mean, if you find him, you can ask him yourself, and if he deems it appropriate, he may say something to you.
Of course. I'll be on the lookout for some chains. And of course, your blue tiefling.
Yes, blue
I must
tiefling.
get going.
All right. Well, safe travels, friend.
You too.
Bye, and thanks for the weird stuff. It was interesting.
Stop by Hazelgrave anytime. It's where you'll find me.
Okay.
Sometimes, not all the time. Goodbye. In a while.
Bye.
Okay. He exits the tavern. It is now just you three.
Radis, what do you say? Like, what? Real quick, I'm gonna look at Aster, and how does he look?
Way better. There's more blood you can see in his face. There's obviously no veins growing on his shoulder or on his neck.
Mm-hmm. And now, what about
however,
the drugs?
Yeah, his eyes are red, and he is extremely kind of wobbly at times. I'll say your current condition. I'll say.
It's his first time.
You are fucked up.
Yeah. You have disadvantage on perception checks. Well, it doesn't help. He also had alcohol along with it, so.
You are fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm high and drunk, boy.
You have disadvantage
No.
on perception checks, disadvantage on attack rolls.
I don't think you're gonna
Oh,
get
no.
drunk and high off of one smoke and one drink.
Well, I went off of what he described to me, which was he has had 2 shots, and then he also, judging by what he did, inhaled hard. It wasn't
That's
just like
true.
a light,
You could probably get like
suck in.
tipsy off that. But
It was just a hard just.
you're probably gonna be more fucked up from the
Does he have asthma?
drugs.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I'll say for right now, you have a 5-foot deficit because you're kind of wobbling around. You're not exactly stupid in the head, but it is hard. It's hard
You're
to
just-
focus. It's hard.
You're
to focus.
unaware.
Yeah.
You're basically just unaware. Radis, what say you and I
Last.
take Aster back to the bunks, let them lie down and cool off, and then we can go make that sword, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, I don't even need a forge. I'll get it done either way.
Oh, well, you're a man of many talents, it seems. Well,
Well, It's actually something that I recently picked up, but
Oh, really? Same with me. I'm gonna open up my book and show him a new rune. Like, this is what I recently picked up.
It's got a new rune page. You bought it for a few thousand blue essence.
See this one. I know you can't read giant, but if you look right here, it says it's like Cyphus's chains. It's kind of like those, except instead of cold, it's fire.
Wow.
Aster just wow.
But
I'm
anyways,
going to escort Aster out towards the bunk, or rather the quarters, so that way I can get started on this sword.
Okay. Where does Morak go? Does he follow them?
he'll chug down one more thing of water. He'll tip the bartender. I'll say he'll tip the bartender 2 silver.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll go on ahead and look for Cyphus and Ilphus.
Okay. So,
And that's where we'll end off for the day.
for the
Shut
day,
the fuck up.
let's move over to Ilphus and Cyphus. What have you guys been doing for like the past 30 minutes?
So what was it? We were trying to go back to a certain. We were looking for stores, like the different stores, and checking stuff out.
Yeah. Okay. So you begin to walk down the streets, checking out places, and you pass by Levin Gree's Wondrous Wares.
Don't worry, Evan. I won't laugh. It wasn't funny.
Obviously, Ors Are Us. You also pass by this. It's not exactly a store. It's like
A tavern.
this great marble household that's massive, and you can see it almost emanates some light. You also pass by. Oh.
Oh.
What is it, Cyphus?
I was gonna say, Cyphus will, after seeing the marble house, go, ugh, rich, and then he'll turn to Ilphus and go, sorry.
No, it's fine. I've never really seen
Communism.
such a more
Communism. Welcome.
I've never seen such a vivid portrayal of how rich someone is before. I mean, then again, I was part of the royal family, but we never had something as fancy as this. Like,
Okay.
You think lives here?
I don't think I really want to find out if I'm on.
Do you want to roll a history check, Ilphus?
Fucking damn it. Okay.
Fucking damn it.
Anyway, you said history, right?
Mhm.
Okay. 9.
Okay. So you know that every place has its rulers, and by deduction, maybe this is where they are? You don't know who.
Wait. So, from what I can infer just by looking at this house some more, you think maybe who kind of quote unquote rules Stellawall?
Kings and queens.
Or just a mayor?
God, I'm physically cringing at that. Just stop. Stop saying the line, Bart.
Okay.
Alright.
That was very awkward.
I don't know what to say to that.
Come on, Jay.
Alright, Jay,
All
would you
I'm
like to
saying-
continue talking over this man?
Come on, bud. Come
Alright.
on.
No, I don't
Let's
want to
let-
continue talking. Thank you. I'll
Come-
stop there.
Guys, let's stop bullying JJ, okay?
No, it's fine. Continue it on fucking live stream. Yeah, keep doing it.
Who cares about live stream? All I'm saying,
I demand
Jay,
a 5-minute
you need to
timeout
make this
for it.
character more than just a Silas ripoff. I believe in you. You can do it.
But I like the
We can
Silas
have this
ripoff.
discussion off stream. This doesn't need to happen right now.
Why does it matter? I'm just saying. these are some of the issues I'm having.
I know, but it's not appropriate to address it like right now while we're playing.
It's fine. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
Anyway, you pass by the lighthouse. That's what I'll call it.
Wait. Is this just like next to the marble house? It's just a humongous fucking
No,
lighthouse.
it's on a more of like it's on like it's elevated a little bit over the rooftops, so it's kind of like a like how in Rome, you know how they have these, I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of like a, I don't think plateau is the right word, but basically it's an elevated structure that you take stairs up to get to.
I want to say they call that a pantheon, but I'm not sure.
Perhaps. You pass by the Maroon Crook, and by the much nicer looking tavern, the High Pearl, and a bookstore called a Novelty Worm.
Is that all I see, or is there more?
That's about the end of the street.
Man, that's just one street. Wow.
Business seems to be going a lot through here. So.
Just like
Doesn't
people
know.
going in and out of places.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little bustling area. We're just standing. I'm going to look up at Cyphus. Cyphus, I don't think there's anything interesting here other than the bookstore and that out of place. Maybe we can move over to the next street.
Fine.
All right, let's do that then. So at the end of the street, what directions can we go?
Is at the end of the street?
Yeah.
There's left, which continues that both directions continues to houses or housing.
There's no other like commercial areas inside.
I'll say I forgot to add, but there is a very basic general store as well, if you wanted to know.
All right.
But other than that, no. It seems that, and this is a big street, by the way. It's not just a small, like, 15-foot wide, or not like 30-foot wide. It's not. It's kind of bigger than that. So it's like a marketplace, more like.
All right. After looking both ways at the end of the street, I'm gonna turn back to Cypher. I think this is it. I don't think there's anywhere else we can go to purchase or look at things.
What do you suppose the others are?
Well, I don't know. We could try looking in every building, or maybe they're in the tavern. I'm gonna point to the tavern.
Wouldn't shock me.
We could always go in, or we could take our time and go do some other thing.
Well, I don't have much coin, and I don't think I'm looking to spend it anyways. So.
Me neither. I spent enough on incense to get some ugly back. Alright, well, I guess we'll just head to the tavern then.
So not to break time itself. Raditz, as soon as you open the door to leave with Aster, Cyphus and Ilphus appear right in the doorway.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, we were looking for you. Anyways, we gotta get this fella home. And,
What's wrong with him?
Hi.
It seems
What
he
did you
can't
do to
hold
him?
his liquor. He can't hold his liquor. I didn't do anything to him.
Squint and tilt his head. Can I roll a medicine check?
Sure.
That's an 8.
He doesn't look... Okay, well, it's obvious that there's something going on physically with him. He has kind of redder tint to his eyes. He's kind of wobbling a little bit. He can't deduce what it is.
Can I deduce that he is clearly high?
That's an assumption you can make.
All right. You're high, aren't you?
Perhaps.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
he's-
I met this really cool guy. What was his name again? I can't remember his name. He was cool, and he had this weird smoky thing. And then I asked if I could try it out because it looked cool. And then yeah,
Insight to see if I can deduce anything from those babbling comments. That's a 13. Can I get anything from that? Because that was just babbling.
You can tell he met someone, had a conversation, probably. Going by the fact he said smoky thing, and since you're assuming that he's high, that could be a way of inputting in drugs. And he seems to not remember who he is at all.
When does Morak walk outside?
Just
Morik,
dazed and confused.
Morik can walk outside now if you like.
I'll
Alright.
turn to Raditz and I'll say,
I found
what's
you!
actually wrong with him?
And then I'll walk up to Cyphus and Ilphus. I found you both. Where were you?
we were just
Why
exploring.
does that concern
this-
you?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
what
was
do you
just curious, because Rakus is also...
Wait, Rakus isn't with you?
No, I'd have no idea where he went.
I thought he was with you.
Yeah.
I thought he was with you. Well, to be honest, I
clearly
didn't
not
know
with
where he
us.
was. Yeah, I have no idea where he is. Like I
That's
said,
not
maybe
good.
he's leaving his little wood carvings around and we can find him like a scavenger.
I don't think he's one to just leave them lying around somewhere.
Raditz,
but
what's
see-
wrong with him?
I don't know.
Wrong with who?
Aster.
Oh, we met the guy. I can't remember his name for the life of me, to be honest. Everything went by so fast.
It's Davin. It's Davin. I want to make
Ah,
that
Mark.
clear.
Yeah, it was David.
Just because
David.
it was a
Of
week
course.
since we played it.
No. Morak doesn't remember his name. He's terrible with names. If you remember, like, the first whole session, he kept pointing to you and be like, you, and Astrid would be like, you. But since he's traveled with you for 3 days, he's kind of gotten used to you.
Well, I would think at least Raditz would know.
Oh, maybe. But Morak doesn't. So we met some guy. He had the shiny sword. He was talking a lot of philosophical bullshit about death and stuff.
Yeah, I mean the bullshit was
But anyways, basically he offered some drugs, and I'll put that in quotation, to Aster. Aster partook after taking 2 shots of some yellow liquidy stuff.
That's pretty good.
So he's
Where is he
probably
now?
he just walked out of town. He's heading somewhere else.
Well, if it's just some sort of chemical or something, it doesn't seem deadly. It just seems like your natural high.
Oh yes, but we want to take him to the barracks so that way we can, know where he is without him being so oblivious and potentially getting robbed or who knows, wandering off like Rakus did.
Right.
Plus, my greatsword is in, not repair, it's being upgraded right now, so Raditz has to make me another one, and then we've also got this little escapee project that Darium didn't keep an eye on, unfortunately, and that escaped that we have to take care of. So there's a lot on our plate right now, so I just want to go back to the church and get our bearings. You know what I mean?
Right, I understand. I think we should kind of talk, I guess, about everything going on so we can deduce it
Yeah.
accordingly.
And a nap would do me some really good stuff right now. I feel exhausted still from walking,
Yeah.
an entire day and a half straight.
Fine. Let's go rest.
Well, Cyphus, if you do not feel like you need to rest, I trust you to take care of yourself if you need to do something.
I'm fine. I don't have anything to do. And
Hi,
he'll
fine.
keep looking around.
Say, you were very interested in that fellow. Do you know him by chance? He seemed very interested in you too.
Why?
I don't know, to be honest. He asked me who you were. All I gave him was the name and that you had chains. Um, I kind of gave some vague bullshit about you, but it wasn't very much. He asked for more, but I told him that he should ask you himself if he was so curious. Um, he's heading to the next town over. Hey, Lucky, would Morak know where he's kind of heading, or
He said
no?
Ven, which is
Okay.
the capital of Utora. Or not Utora, sorry. The capital of... Oh my god. No, I was right. It was Utora. I don't know why I didn't think
Okay.
it was Utora.
Okay. He said he was heading to Vin, the capital of Utora.
Why?
I didn't ask him.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. He seemed very interested in you, but I thought it was because I mentioned the chains, and that was it. Because it is very interesting, being magically enchanted with them, but it
Yeah.
seems that you both have a history. You think he
No.
might be a friend of yours or an enemy?
Where did he say he's from?
Up north, far away. Said both of his parents died. Death saved him, apparently.
Death. Saved.
While Morg is saying all this, I'm going to look up as I've. Do you think he's one of those hunters?
Hunt? No. 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 Not a...
A hunter?
People looking for me, and quite possibly even Cyphus to a degree. I'm not sure.
I don't think he was looking for you, because I did mention you by name, and I mentioned that you were an elf, and he did not care. He disregarded you, but he was interested in Cyphus pretty extensively.
I don't suppose they're after you now instead? I'm gonna look up a Cyphus again.
Why would he be after me?
Don't know. You're related to Samuel, right? That's his name? The guy that you...
I'm not related to him, but
I meant more so
I
in
knew him.
business terms.
Alright, look,
He's
maybe
going
we
to
should
Ben
get
and
that
he wants to know about me. He clearly knows something.
Maybe we should get inside to discuss the rest of this, in case there are prying ears around.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, Cyphus, do you want to take point, or would you want me to?
I'll watch. Fine.
Alright. So we'll start making our way back to
The cathedral.
yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna. I know my passive perception is down, kind of low. So can I roll to try and have a more alert presence by chance?
yes, you can.
Okay. 12, so 11, so only by 3, not very much.
You don't see anyone kind of prying at you, trying to keep a watch on where you're going. There's a general people kind of just passing by you that are kind of just glance at you and then keep going. But there's no one specifically that's is following around you by corners or specifically staring at you.
I got you. I assume that the glances from people are just like, oh, it's an entity of the church,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But
That are just a bunch of weird people.
potentially, or like, ooh, a touring group of adventurers.
Gross.
But
You
they're
make it-
missing their hero.
You make it to the cathedral, and I'd like, as everyone passes by, like the general entrance, the outside entrance that is, so approaching the cathedral, I should say. I like everyone to make a perception check.
15.
10.
Also 15.
That's a nat 20.
You want my 6
Um,
for your nat 20?
I'll say generally everyone notices was a very high roll of Aster.
The drunk guy gets a fucking 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm laughing at.
The
Wait,
completely sober
did you
dude
did
gets
you
a
roll
fucking-
with disadvantage, Aster?
I had 1 second.
another 20.
I got an 18.
Not any better.
Okay.
Wow, for being drunk, you're
Wait.
quite alert.
I'll
Wait.
still say, generally,
strike.
everyone notices that Rakus and Aster both had their own horses. And you see, and it's kind of also with Radis's cart. And you see that the spot where you had left Rakus's horse is gone, and there's a note on the floor with the bird sculpture Rakus had, or not the bird sculpture, the rat sculpture that.
Oh
Rakus
my
had made.
god!
I knew it.
Astrid,
A scavenger hunt.
Rakus turned into
Wait, hold
into a
on,
bird,
just-
into a rat.
Calm down. There's a note there, right? Someone want to read it, or
I'm gonna read the
Oh,
note.
yeah. Alright, so I'll walk over, pick it up. What is it written in?
I wanted to read
It's
it.
common.
Okay, I'll read it. What does it say?
I can read it out for you.
Do it in Rakus's voice.
Yeah, do it.
That's funny. Alright, here's Rakus's voice. I will be right back. Don't bother looking for me.
Wow.
This is so
that's
sad.
quite
Alexa,
suspicious.
play Alexa.
Well, seems pretty self-explanatory, and Mark will like tap the note with the back of his hand, and he'll pocket it. Rakus is clearly fine, and he does not need our help. All right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I would like to roll investigation to make sure it's his hand signature.
Roll with disadvantage.
I put it in my pocket. How are you gonna see it?
Oh, that's true. Actually.
That's why
okay.
the disadvantage is there.
No,
Yeah,
oh, it's
that
there
would be
'cause
the
you're
case.
drunk.
Yeah, wait. Can I see the note?
What for? You're drunk.
How do we know it's his handwriting? Let's make sure.
He left the sculpture here.
You know, he could have dropped it. You know, you never know.
I
He
have
could
to
have
agree with
dropped
Asher
it.
on this one.
Perfectly
Let me know if
placed
it's
on the
handwriting.
notes.
We might as well make sure.
Well, do you even know what his handwriting looks like?
Do
No.
fuck.
I would assume so, since they kind of arrived together.
They arrived
Yeah.
together, but there's not once in the trip where he wrote down anything specifically.
But how do we know this?
You
What-
don't. But that's why you
That's
said.
why
That's why I'm answering. If Aster wants to know, it doesn't matter. Either way, the information's getting out. Aster doesn't know what his handwriting looks like, so either way, I have to say that out loud.
So do you know what his handwriting looks like?
I don't know.
Okay,
Why
then,
are we even
so-
suggesting this then?
Exactly. It wouldn't matter anyways. If he was taken by somebody, we would know, because all we have is this note and the sculpture. So we have to assume he left the sculpture perfectly placed on the note where his horse was to say, don't look for me, I'll be back.
so we can't leave now? We have to wait for him to come back.
Well, I mean, we have stuff to do anyways.
But what if he
So-
doesn't come back? What do we do then?
You
You
all
told us
have
not to
stuff
look
to
for
do.
him, right?
Then what we will do is we will get another horse. I'm sure the church can make a charitable donation towards my cause.
Ugh.
But either way, he's gone right now. We need to get Astor upstairs because he's delusional. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna walk up to my horse and I'm like, hey, buddy.
Cyphers is gonna go sit just on the ground and do the same, like, enchantment he did earlier, but like sit just like it, but not actually perform it.
So
I've seen you
it's
sit
kinda
like that twice
meditating.
today. So what is it for?
Well, once in the morning, I use it to activate these, and he'll shake his shackles.
So
Now I'm just doing it to calm me down.
well, we'll take Astor upstairs. Are you going to be okay here for now?
I'll be fine with his eyes closed.
Okay, well, come find us if you need anything. And if you're getting attacked or something, just shout very loudly. I have not so good hearing, but I'll hear you if you shout loud enough.
Trust me, no one will want to mess with me.
Alright, seems fair enough. Should we head upstairs? He'll just kind of like almost shrug his shoulders towards Raditz and Ilphus.
You can go. I'm gonna stay close to him just so that way nothing similar happens with him
Elphys.
as it did.
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I'll be okay. I'm a big boy.
All right.
Raditz, are we good to go?
Yeah, I do need to make that, sword for you before we head out, just in case.
Yeah. I should probably rest up a little more anyways, seeing as...
Yeah. We'll meet back up in about an hour or two.
Alright, sounds good. Can you do it up in the room, or do you need to go somewhere else to do it?
Oh no, I can do it up in the room. It's all
Alright.
fine.
Well, so we'll go up to the room, we'll regroup, see where we're at. I'll, rest a little bit. Raditz, you make the sword. Elfish, you keep an eye on Astor and make sure he doesn't hurt himself or anybody else.
Right.
And we'll go upstairs to the... Well, I will. I'll go upstairs to the barracks. I don't want to speak for everybody.
When I get to my room, I'm going to take out 6 pounds of the steel that I had on me,
Mhm.
or rather, a mix of some of the charcoal
Mhm.
and some of the iron that I had on me, and
Right.
I'm going to place it out in front of me in a circle, and I'm going to simply place my hammer directly above it and say a prayer to Valencia, and I will be using my feature um, Artisan's Blessing
Right.
in order to create a great sword. Now, this great sword, I want it to have it'll go up at a sharp edge, and it's almost like an executioner sword, like Morark's previous one, but it's double bladed. So it has no tip, and it's flat at the top, and it almost has like teeth at the very top of it. If that makes sense.
So is it like an executioner's greatsword?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a second executioner's greatsword.
Yes.
But be careful, this one's a double-edged sword.
This one's top heavy, just so you know, or slightly top heavy. So
Okay.
that way it'll have a little more downswing.
So how much longer would Morark need to rest in order to end that point of exhaustion?
It's a long rest.
Ah,
So about
okay.
8 hours. I'll say right now, it was morning when you guys got up, which was like, I'd say 9, since you rested from the night, and you spent about like an hour, almost 2 hours. So I'd say about 6 o'clock, you'd be awake again.
Okay. So if I were to take a short
do
rest...
Question: do I take part in this, and would that fix the whole?
If you take the long rest,
Status
yes,
effect.
it would fix the status effect, since you're not necessarily, you wouldn't.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll join Morark and rest, and I'll just pass out.
Well, I never said I was going to take a long rest. I was going to ask. So if I were to take a short rest, would that have the amount of time I need to get rid of the exhaustion point, or would I
No,
still...
it needs. You basically need to regain the amount of energy you put out.
Okay, so I'll just take the long rest then.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll join Morark on that.
Okay.
So.
Is there anything else anyone would like to?
Yes.
Okay. Is it just Cyphus?
Yes. Oh. I guess I should allow them to answer that.
Okay.
Yes, it's only him.
If Cyphus is the only one who wants to do anything during these 8 hours, I would like everyone else to leave the chat.
Ooh. Okay.
Or just deafen. Either or works.
Okay.
Still got one more. Hold on.
Yeah. We got you, Seth. We'll undeafen you when it's time.
All right.
So, when everyone disperses, Cyphus will open up one eye,
Mm-hmm.
open up both, look around, stand up, and reach into his bag. He's going to reach for his rations and realize that he only has a few left. Upon seeing that he only has a few left, he'll exclaim, "Ugh, I've got to buy more. So he'll get up and he'll walk towards a general store.
Okay. You begin walking towards the general store. Um, it's very basic in that it has general store literally as its label.
Okay.
You enter.
I will say, does he see a magic shop on the way there?
Yes, there is Blevingree's Wondrous Wares.
Perfect. I will be back there in just a moment, but I'll head into the general store.
Keep in mind, you have 8 hours right now.
Yeah, I got plenty of time.
You got all the time in the world almost.
Okay. So he'll walk in. Are there any people inside?
There's a couple of scragglers picking up some like rope. Very average stuff. And it is an average place. There's some people looking at some different types of nails that align the walls. Very average. But
When
there is
Cyphus
some
enters,
people.
are there any eyes that look at him?
I won't even have you roll. Definitely people look at the sound of the chains entering through the door. And
That's a 14 for perception.
Specifically, there is a Firbolg in there that you would recognize, who's kind of in the back corner, and he's kind of leaning against the wall, kind of looking at the aisle across from him. And when you enter, his eyes bat at you, and then they kind of settle back in the middle. You recognize this Firbolg as the same one who had met you previously on the road to Lyvern.
Mm-hmm. Cyphus will enter and put his hood on, and pull up his chains just a little bit, so that not entirely, so they're still visible.
Right.
But if anyone is looking at his eyes, they'll see that they become a dark purple. He'll walk up to the counter and he'll say, "Excuse me."
You walk up to the counter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
We're holding on a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Sorry, someone wanted to say goodbye to me.
All right.
The human working the tavern with very average cut hair, very average clothes, says, "Yeah, yes, sir."
Do you happen to have rations?
Of course we do.
Perfect.
I'll tell you, this time around of the year, they're a little more expensive, but I have them for you.
How much will they be?
About 5 silver per ration.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take 10.
Okay. He goes, and he kind of opens the door, kind of like a little compartment closet. And he begins to take out and place onto the counter 10 rations, which is about, I think it's
5 gold.
Yeah. And he kind of holds out his hand.
Cyphus will dig into his coin pouch and pull out 5 gold and lay them out across the table.
And his hand goes from reaching outwards to you to kind of picking up the gold. Thank you. Is that all?
Sounds just like this.
Thank you for the sound effects, ching.
I had coins. Ching. I had coins on my desk, so. He'll stuff them into his bag, and that's 10 rations. Bada bing, bada boom.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's so helpful. He'll also say, um, what would you say is something that someone on the road would need?
Well, there's a lot of things that someone could get for that. Obviously, there's rope. Rope's kind of important. If you need to hold something together, if you get attacked and you need to tie someone up to bring him in or something, it's useful for that. Or there's on anything in here you could say is useful for the road.
Hmm.
Though less specifically like nails, little itty bitty things that don't mean much. I'd say rations, rope.
Well, I still have all that. Anything specific?
Let's see.
If not, that's fine. I'm just kind of browsing around at the moment, seeing if there is anything I could perhaps pick up.
He'll look at you and he'll say, "Well, I normally don't sell anything special here, but I do have this this kind of tea I make."
As Cyphus looks into his eyes, they change from a dark purple to a bright green. Oh, tea. What kind of tea?
It's made from special orbs from Ulan. It's a little north of here. Very nice place actually. It's made of the blackberries and the general herbs that come out of there.
How much would you be willing to sell it for?
Oh, it's not much. How about how much are you looking for?
I would say not too much, just something that would be nice to have other than just eating rations all day. Something to more of calm my nerves.
Okay. Um, I'll give you.
Mostly special occasions, I would say.
I'll give you. How about a liter of it?
Sounds fine.
How
How much would that be?
2 silver, 4 silver, 3 silver.
3 silver, you've got it.
And see him, he kind of like closes all the cabinets on his side of the, let's say bar for now. I keep forgetting the damn word for it, but, countertop.
Counter, yeah.
Counter. And he goes into the back room, and it takes him a little bit. And he comes out with a metal kind of canister that, if you were to assume, is probably a liter. He sets it on the counter and he says, the canister is, if you hold it over a fire, it should warm it up for
Perfect.
you. If you want to add it to your inventory, it's called blackberry tea.
Of course.
And he kind of once again holds out his hand for kind of palm facing upwards.
Do I have to make a new item for that? Custom item?
Yeah, you could. You don't have to do it right now. I can add it for you later.
Alright, I got it here.
Okay.
Blackberry tea, you said?
Yeah.
I don't know where there it is. Okay, whatever. I don't know why the website's not working, but that's blackberry tea. And then you said it was 3 silver, right?
Yeah.
He'll just hand a gold piece because that's all he's got. How much does it weigh, would you say?
It weighs. Let's. Well, give me a moment here. I don't know the specifics, but I'll say. I'm just gonna look it up real quick. 6 pounds because of the metal canister. Since it's a, well, actually, sorry, let's make that 3 pounds. I was looking at 2 liters of something. And he says,
3 pounds, you said?
yeah. Thank you. No one's really purchased it from me before, but it's very sweet.
That's no problem. I don't mind.
Is that all you're searching for?
Yeah, I would say that's about it. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Well, I will, thank you again. He'll turn to the Fearbulg and, he'll walk over.
As you walk up to the Fearbulg, who's kind of in this heavy kind of leather cloak, more like coat that goes down to his feet, and he says, "Hey,
Hey, how'd you end up here?
well, Samuel, things are turning out very well. We've captured more of our district than we do every day. He was slightly concerned about you once more, and he'd like to know if you've found him yet, especially since I'm finding you here.
Yeah, I did. I found him. But I don't think we should kill him. He has the potential to free us. To make this right.
I find that respectable, but I'm not the one in charge.
I know Samuel might not like that, but if you can tell him I'll be back soon with him, if he can manage to keep everything fine, I'm kind of stuck with these people at the moment. They're heading more eastward, I believe, and is it eastward?
Right now, you actually, as far as you know, you're staying relatively here. There isn't anywhere you're actually going that you
Or
know
did we
of.
head east from where
You
we
went
were?
south
or-
from where you were.
We went south, okay.
And
Do I know
Utora
of
then would be presumably not far north, but kind of northwest.
Okay. So we are heading a little more eastward than, pretty much almost in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that this is the opposite direction of where I need to be, and this is where these folks are going. They are nice people. I mean, that's coming from me, you know?
Mhm.
Mess. And then he'll lean in closer and say, you know, lethal killer. I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all
But,
in there for our own reasons.
but you know, he's a good kid. And he wants to. He said he feels bad for me. Said he feels bad for what happened in that dungeon. And
Well, if I'm gonna be straight with you, I don't exactly know what Samuel wants to do with him. He talks about a lot of things with him. Sometimes in fits of rage, he will talk about killing him, mangling his body. Sometimes,
where are the king and queen? Are they alive?
They currently, they're fine. they're taking situation not too lightly. They have been trying to crack down on laws, and it's worrying. But again, we gain more of a holding every day.
That's good. But make sure that Samuel knows they need to stay alive. If they don't, I don't know what the prince will do. Probably running away and something. We need them alive because he wants them alive.
At that, you see him kind of raise his hands and begins to move his hands around and mutter something. And he says, Samuel, as a request from Cyphus, we must keep the king and queen alive for now.
Let him know that if he keeps them alive, I'll keep him alive.
He has found the prince and can make and then he kind of, you see the kind of rune that's being held in front of him vanish, and then he instantly goes back and he says, redoing the things he just did, a deal can be made with the prince and can save the kingdom. And then he purposefully kind of the runes vanish and says, he kind of waits for a little bit, and you kind of see his expression shift, and then kind of going back to being aloft, and he says, Samuel says he can wait for now, but he doesn't want to wait too much longer. He still wants the prince. He still wants to meet him at some point, but he will hold attempting to kill the king and queen.
Perfect. That's all I need. A little bit longer, I'll get him back, and it'll be fine. Not a big deal. Oh. You don't know how long it's been weighing on my shoulders.
Yeah. Tell me, though, there is a certain worry I have.
Which is?
I think there's someone else watching over the prince.
Who?
Well,
One of ours?
no. More of a group. They're kind of close to the king. How do I put it?
Do I need to slaughter every last one of them to keep this kid alive?
No. It's quite the opposite. I think they work, well, at least a part of them work to keep him alive. The other part, well, that's strange. This faction, they work under the king, kind of. And they're a big, kind of order, I guess. Monks, I think. There's been a fracture in their group, and a bunch of them have, well, I say a bunch, but a small bit of them, intel has told us, are out to find the prince and keep him alive.
So if they find him with me, I'll be killed.
Maybe.
And along with these other folk that have nothing to do with this. They're purely keeping us alive and helping us travel.
Well, if they might recognize you, which is my worry, because they are against us, seeing as we're deliberately attacking the king and queen.
Hmm.
It's very difficult, but there's another piece of information that I have to warn you about, and this is more dire than that. The king has taken some measures. I would say drastic, but he's hired a criminal group.
What?
And yeah, we're criminal, but he's hired an outside source. We don't know what they're called or what they do, but there's a group now that are attempting to hunt down the prince.
So, we have one group that will kill me if they find him,
Mm-hmm.
and another that will kill him if they find him.
I don't know if they're gonna kill him, but the Astral Order, which is the monk group, I'd assume the one who's found him. I saw skies go from undeafened to deafened very quickly. It was rapid. But I assume that whoever found him is watching over him, same as I guess you are now. I've been told that they work kind of similar to us. They use a kind of, well, blood magic. Specifically, I'm speaking about you and Samuel.
No. No. They're blood mages. Like us. You're kidding me.
Well, I think one's more of a. Well, yes. I guess some of them are.
Oh,
Rumors have been going about, talking about them being demonic in a way.
demonic.
But that's just a rumor as it is right now. I suggest being very careful about any, maybe, and this is going off that rumor, tieflings or imps and any kind of demonic creatures.
Wait. Tiefling.
Yeah, I'm just saying that because they're kind of, they look that way, and they're kind of cursed to be that way, but yeah.
Rakus wouldn't. No, Rakus wouldn't do that. No, that doesn't make sense. One of the kids, has a tiefling friend. From a port city. I don't know where from, but
Is he a tiefling?
yeah, he is. He's been following us for. He's been with us, I should say, for the past few days. But I don't know. He stays up all night and carves rats into wood. It's weird. He's very strange, but they all call him a hero. They all call him, heroic or whatever.
Well, does he act heroic?
I would say so. He seems to put others before himself.
Recently, hold on. I got this. Hold on. Recently, has he been acting strange?
He just left today. He said, "Don't worry about me. I have to do something." I don't know what that meant. He left his horse here and he just disappeared.
Has he been like quiet or like kind of frank with you?
Very quiet. We all talked about our backstories, and he just was silent. It's weird.
Um.
And I say
oh,
backstory's a little where we're from. We all explained where
Okay,
we
I was
originate
gonna,
from.
mention, but okay.
All
Well,
he talked about was a port city, and that was it.
what I'm slightly worried about is whether or not. I know sometimes if a person's under control of something else, they'll kind of lose a sense of self. Um, what does he look like?
Blue tiefling. I don't remember much about him. He. I don't know. He greenish hair, I think. Um, long black robes, red satchel along his tunic. That's about it. Not much to him.
What about skin color?
He's blue.
Okay.
A light bluish, I would say.
Um, I'll save this information and I'll let Samuel know about it when I return, since I'm not needed here. But
His name is Rakis. I don't know where he is now, but Rakis Savant, I think.
okay. Well, I'll see what we can gather. Um, thank you. I
Of course.
This is kind of urgent. And he'll leave, and he kind of, as soon as you see him open the door, and as the door begins to close, he just begins to sprint. And you're left alone in the general store.
All right. So now what Cyphus will do is he'll walk out of the store, and he'll go back to the magic shop that he passed, and he'll walk in. Once again, are there any people in there other than the person behind the
Very
counter?
few, actually.
Okay. Any of them look at him, or should I roll for?
Well, it's just mainly one dude, and
Oh.
you see him. It's another Firbolg, actually. He's very skinny, lanky, but very tall. And you see these. He's kind of like. He has these 4 spectral hands floating around him, and 2 of them right now are kind of playing rock paper scissors with each other. And he's kind of leaning, elbows against the counter, and then he hears you enter, and he looks up at you, and one of the hands behind him waves.
Cyphus will turn around behind him to see if there's anyone behind him, and then look back and wave for a second. More of a hand. He waves his hand for a quick second and then puts it down. You can hear the chains rattle. He'll close the door behind him. Your sign says you're a magic shop. At least I assume that.
The other hand, the one that is not waving, the other free one will kind of give you a thumbs up.
You don't talk, do you?
One of the hands will go and write on a piece of parchment, bring it up to you. Not really.
It's written in common, correct?
Yeah.
Well, you seem to understand me, but I have to ask. And he'll pick up his chains and lay them out onto the table.
He'll kind of jump back when you do that, and then.
Do you deal with magical spells of any kind?
He'll kind of nod his head.
Any yes? I assume he's
Yeah.
nodding his head. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful, because I've been stuck with these chains on for 11 years. And I can't get them off. I do work with a little bit of blood magic, so They might be attuned to me, but I haven't been able to take them off for a while. And let's talk about things off screen.
He will kind of cock his head, then he'll pull out another piece of parchment and he'll write and show you. I run the store, but I don't necessarily. I don't deal with spells. I have a friend who does, but he's currently working on an enchantment, and he's not here.
Oh, that's no problem. What do you do here, other than obviously run this place? What I should say is your speciality.
He kind of writes down.
And he'll pull the chains off the table too.
Kind of bullet points. He writes, for one, my name is obviously Blevin Gree.
11.
And then another bullet point, I'm good at cooking. Another bullet point, fan of nature. And another bullet point, cursed to not speak. And then there's kind of like one of the hands kind of gives you a so-so gesture. And then he writes, can speak, but it doesn't come out here.
Cyphus will read this and give a smirk and a little bit of a We appear to be one and the same. Cyphus will agree. He'll put his hand over the counter as the chains drag along it.
One of the mage hands will go and shake it.
11.
And then he takes out the parchment and he writes, no, seriously, I can't actually speak. I was cursed. And any attempt of speech I make goes to some other plane.
Interesting. Do you know which plane? Or is that
He
unknown?
shakes his head no.
How long have you had this curse?
He kind of puts one of the mage hands above his head, or right at the top of his head, and then he kind of lowers it. It's maybe like half of his size.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
On the same parchment, he writes KID.
So he doesn't know how long he's had it for?
Well,
That was my question, just in case.
Exactly how long?
Yeah.
Let me. He writes down about 25 years.
Wow. It's quite a while.
And then he also writes down, the hands help me speak a sign, but not, obviously, actual speak.
Well, your curse is older than me. That's quite interesting.
You see another, the paper flips over, and he kind of looks behind you, looks around, and he writes, do you have any business with the Stardust Syndicate? Cyphus.
Stardust Syndicate. Well, other than Stardust Syndicate Cyphus does not sound too bad as alliteration. I don't know who that is, but it does intrigue me.
He writes group, secret, figured since I know of the revolution.
His expression will drop, and his eyes will turn to an orange. Oh. Well, I had no clue you knew. Um. So Cyphus isn't part of the Stardust Syndicate, is he?
No.
Does his group have a name by any chance, or no? Is it just
Uh,
the Revolution?
oh,
Is it just
they're
known as
called
the
the
Revolution?
Displacers.
What was it?
Displacers, like to
The
displace
Displacers.
water. Displacers.
Got it. Yep. So he'll say, "No, I'm not part of the syndicate. I'm a displacer."
He writes down, "Do you have any business with the syndicate?"
No.
And he kind of like awkwardly winks. Boss knows of displacers. Kind of funds them.
Oh. Do you know what they're currently working on at the moment?
Writes, don't exactly know. Boss is kind of busy. It says waiting for the group called Extractors.
Displaces the syndicate and distractors. That's a lot.
Extractors. I want you
Extractors.
roll an
History check.
no intelligence just for Cyphus, which is I
Intelligence?
think just a straight roll for you.
Yep. That's a 5. That sucks.
Okay, you didn't. As long as you didn't roll like a 3 or a 4. You remember when Morak was briefing you? It talked about investigating a group called the Stardust Syndicate on what they need to do, and
Yes. I remember this. Yep.
that the mission is to go undercover and kind of figure them out, going under the guise of the Extractors, quote unquote. The word given for entry was Fate's Call, but you can kind of deduce that he giving away that he knows of the syndicate. You can assume that you don't need to really do that here or say that phrase.
So pretty much
Essentially, your group needs to go undercover as the Extractors to investigate their group.
Oh. Okay. This is very complex, but this is interesting. Well, if I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about everything that's going on. That's more of Samuel's business. I'm more here to just get the prince back. That's all I'm here for.
Mage Hand gives a thumbs up. And then Paper writes, do you need anything?
Well, I was gonna say, since it would seem pretty fucking busted to have to learn any new spells just from buying them, but
Well,
that would be
Typhus can't learn spells.
that's why, and that too, yeah, since being a sorcerer. But they'll say, well, since I really can't do anything spell wise, it was nice meeting you, Blevin. And
He'll nod, yeah.
I'll hopefully hear more about the syndicate, as I'm not quite familiar with everything going on. I'm more of an errand boy, but at the same time, I don't know. Samuel seems to like me for some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm not sure really why
he
seems so interested in me.
Mage Hand gives the okay sign.
He'll give it back with his hand.
And then
actually, with his own mage hand, actually.
You see him he's kept his mouth shut, and you see him like begin to laugh, and you see his like vocal cords moving, but nothing comes out. Right? You see like his Adam's apple move,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing comes out of his mouth.
Hmm. Cyphus will also start to laugh. Hopefully, I'll be back one day.
He'll give you a
Find
thumbs
you,
up.
find you a fix for that curse.
He'll kind of give you like a kind of smile.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you.
He'll
I
nod.
have to be on my way, though.
All the mage hands kind of wave at you.
Me, along with my mage hand, will wave back, and I'll have the mage hand open the door for me.
Okay. And you walk out and close the door.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think so. I will go to the what was it? Is there a blacksmith?
There is Ors R Us, but other than that, not really. This isn't known for its like smithing. It's more for like it's exports goods and imports goods, but more like expensive.
Mm-hmm. I'll still head to Ors R Us.
Okay.
Because I do have to ask one question.
Okay.
Once again, when I walk in, are there a lot of people? And if so, how many of them are staring at me?
There's 4 people kind of looking at some nice ores. Some are looking at very like design wear ores. They kind of glance at you and then they go back to just looking at their ores.
No one gives me like the
No
stink
one
eye or
specifically, no.
anything. Ooh, good. Cyphus will more of relax. His eyes will turn to a bright baby blue, and then the chains will sort of almost like fall out, but then not really. They'll sort of extend a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, and he'll feel a little more calm. He'll walk up to the counter.
You see a Loxodon.
Locks it on. Hold on.
Oh. And I must keep the stream going now. Well.
Sorry about that. I can hear you now.
Okay, epic. Asta.
Okay, so I'll walk up to the Loxodon.
Okay.
Excuse me. I just have one simple question.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pick up the chains, put them on the counter. What material are these made out of?
He'll go and get a magnifying glass and kind of examine them, kind of pick them up slightly. He notices they're cold to the touch and kind of like puts it back down.
Mind the chill, he'll say.
And give me a moment here. He'll kind of nod his head, and kind of give a wide-eyed look and say, idiom.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
It's a, new ore in, Ven, I heard. It's,
New.
well, publicly announced new, but yours is old. It's run out of its wear.
Well, you know, strapped to my wrist for 11 years. Kind of does that.
Normally, it saps magic. But
Normally.
it seems to run out of durability, like a weapon would. Maybe it can only take so much. Or maybe it just is like a normal ore and kind of deteriorated. I don't really know.
So, what you're telling me is the only reason my magical properties have somewhat returned is because this ore is old?
He kind of shrugs, and I don't really know.
Interesting. So you said it saps magical properties.
Saps is the wrong word. More like nullifies.
Okay. So, what would make it so that it now conducts it?
He kind of gives you a very, I don't know, in his posture and in his hand, his hooves. What do you call them?
I think it'd be hooves, maybe feet. No, it's not hooves because that's like horses. I would say just feet.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Kind of give you that, and I think they have hands actually.
I think they do have hands.
That
Yeah.
would be very awkward for a D&D character to wield a mace and then, I guess, strap it to its
With like a
foot.
flat elephant foot.
Yeah. So he'll kind of give you a shrug, with his hands. I don't really know.
Does it melt easily? Does it?
He keeps shaking his head. It's publicly new.
Hmm. So the only way I'd be able to find out is if I went to Ven.
Kind of give like a shrug and nod.
Well, thank you for your time. That's all I need. Thank you. He'll pull the chains off the counter, pick him up, release him to the ground, kind of stare at him. His eyes will turn to a bit more of a orangish red. And looking quite upset, he'll turn around and his chains will drag along the ground. And he'll walk out.
Okay.
And I believe
That's all.
that should be the end of everything I want to do. That was a lot, I know, but yeah, I think it was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But we are all good. Yep. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a long time. Sorry about that.
Ah,
But we are we are back.
whoa.
A lot
We are.
of things had to be done. And a lot
So
of
yeah,
things
that
to
was
be
a lot I had to do. Sorry.
It's all good.
Well, after just
A lot more than I was actually
Ooh.
personally expecting. I was expecting to just do like 2 things, but
Do we know where Nathan went?
he should still
Don't no.
actually
Not in
be here. He's just is Sky like awake? He looked to be asleep.
Oh, he posted that. I don't think he's actually here.
Well, you say that
Alright,
he
he
could have posted
gotta
that he
be
was
right back.
pretending to sleep, and then
Actually fell asleep.
just fell asleep.
What if you went into like VR?
He went back into the VR world. Yeah.
Are we still streaming?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
That entire ordeal happened on stream.
Yes, it had to. That was a lot. But wow, I was personally not expecting that.
Well, let's just keep an eye on the time next time because that was almost an hour.
That's I'm aware of that, but he went through a lot of stuff.
Also, just need Nathan here now.
And Sky.
yeah.
Well,
Sky said he'd come back as soon as he could when he got pinged. So
did
Well,
you
he.
just ping him?
yeah, he's been pinged. Yeah, we just pinged him. So
Oh, that yeah, and he
he'll be back.
messaged- Okay. Now I'm just curious where Nathan went.
Yeah.
So,
Give me a
no.
second.
There
Oh,
he is.
I was gonna say I gotta be right back. Do something.
What?
But actually, since I just had all that, I don't think I'm gonna really be needed for this next part. Cyphus will just be
Well,
relaxing.
just are you gonna go back to the beds or?
I'm gonna head back to
Cyphus is tired
where
now.
Aster and no, he's not tired. I'm gonna head back to where Ilphis, Aster, and Morag are, and just kind of sit there and relax.
Okay.
And
For
just wait.
Raditz and, well, Ilphis, Cyphus, after about an hour, walks back up the stairs and kind of just slouches down and kind of sits, kind of relaxes.
He will stare at Ilphis though.
You hear that, Ilphis? He's staring at you.
He doesn't.
even hear.
He doesn't hear that.
You
God
hear
damn
that,
it.
Ilphis?
When he gets back and he can hear us, just say Cyphus stares at Ilphis. Just
well,
say that with
you
no
can
context.
Also just message him that Cyphus is taking like extra attention to Ilphis. Anyway,
Quite extra attention.
so I can also take over Ilphis for now if we need. Because I'm imagining at 6 or 7 p.m. when everyone wakes up.
You went to sleep during the day, you fools. Now your sleep schedule's gonna be messed up.
Yeah, JJ would know.
Hey, I would.
What?
Wait, did
Bro,
they
I gotta
take
head
a
to
long
bed
rest
soon.
during that, or
So
Yeah, they took long rests.
yeah.
So are we still resting by the time he comes back, or
Yes,
Yeah,
I
no,
was
that
only gone for an
only
hour.
that took an hour for him.
so it took an hour in real life and also in game
So
time?
about
Yeah,
like,
actually.
yeah. Wow. I guess we're
I mean,
actually.
mostly because like it was more of just conversation, if anything, and just like
It was.
every action I did was like explained, and like in real time. So
To
that
the
actually
point
was,
where it took
if
an
anything,
hour.
if anything, it was a little more than an hour. I would say because I also had to like we
okay,
didn't
so it
account
was
for
a
like
short rest,
travel
if
time.
anything, for them.
Yeah, but technically speaking, yeah. If
Alright.
you woke them up
Yeah.
now, it would be a short rest. But they want to sleep 8 hours.
I'm meditating.
Okay.
Oh, you're here. Okay, now I can say that. Yeah, Cyphus is staring you down, Ilphis.
When he walks back in.
When he walks back in, he'll sit into a chair and just like legit like slump it in the chair, and the chains will just drag along the ground, and he'll just stare at Ilphis.
All right, so real quick,
Mhm.
would my long rest be completed if I was meditating by now, or
Well, it wasn't. If you're meditating, no, you're about an hour into your meditation, and you
Okay.
need like 3 more.
and I would need that in a row, right? You can't just interrupt.
Yeah,
it and
you
be
can't
like, "Oh,
interrupt.
okay."
Well, technically speaking. Well, now, yeah, no, you have to be meditating. So.
Yeah, that has.
Okay. So if you would let me get about 3 hours,
I would
extra,
say you don't have to get up and like have a conversation. You can still like have. You can close your eyes, sit in the position still, and kind of just speak. I'll say. But you can't really get up and move around.
because I have no idea he's there then.
Well,
Otherwise,
you hear
I'll
him
say
come
something.
in.
Oh, I hear him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear the chains.
Okay. Never mind.
Pretty-
Then. That's fine.
Pretty obvious. I have disadvantage on stealth. Trust me. Although I have precision in stealth, which is really funny.
Profession.
I have-
You can do stealth very well, but
Proficient.
having that.
Yeah, I should say I'm proficient in stealth, but I also have disadvantage on it, so it's fucking funny.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Alright, so while I'm meditating, of course I'll hear Cyphus come
or
in.
you have great sword.
I forget. Does a short rest cancel out my crimson right?
No, it's only long rest.
Okay, then I'll take a short rest.
Which can be like just sitting around. But yeah.
Mark is teeping
Yeah.
right now.
It's teeping?
Yeah, teeping.
It's teeping?
Yeah, he's seeping or
Oh.
teeping.
Oh, okay.
Because Reddit said that I have a great sword now because he finished making it. I was like, all right, well, he's asleep. So
Okay. So what will Ilphis like to do?
So of course I'm gonna hear him come in, and without looking or anything, without moving, I'm just gonna Welcome back, Cyphus.
Cyphus will like freak out a little bit. Like he'll be shocked at Ilthus saying that because obviously he's staring at him and he has his eyes closed, acknowledging him. He'll go, "Oh, hi, I'm back." Yeah.
What
And
were
then
you
he'll
up
look
to?
away. I was tending to my lack of rations. Yes.
You know, I wouldn't doubt that just with your time.
No, I really did buy rations. If you'd like, you can check my bag.
Well, not right now. I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Tells me you did more than just get rations.
Have you heard of the Stardust Syndicate?
Do I need to roll history on that, Carson?
Okay, so it appears I need to redo what I said
Are you
last.
guys kidding me?
I don't know if I was. I don't think I was here for that.
When in the last session,
Then I should say I should rephrase it as
do
do
you
you
remember?
remember the Stardust
Stardust
Syndicate?
Syndicate was mentioned last session.
Yeah.
I do not recall the relevance of it, but it was mentioned.
It was
It's the association we're going after, essentially.
Alexander said he would like you guys to investigate a group in in this city that they're suspicious of exporting these the black liquid that shouldn't be being even found or exported, and they sent you. You're supposed to go under the guise of the extractors to Blevin Grease Wondrous Wares and say the word Fate's Call to him, and that Morak's combat master had been investigating into it, and that he had basically secured a spot for them to these so-called extractors, which is you guys, to enter in and kind of work with them or make a deal with them, whatever the extractors want from them.
All right, so to sum it up, just yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
I'm trying. All right, I'll try to sum it up as best I can. So I can move the conversation. Yeah, they're the people messing with the black liquid here in Stellawall.
Yeah. Well, turns out that I am a little more connected to them than I would like to be. And he'll start to rub
Before-
his arm, and you can hear the chains move. I realize that the displacers are being more or less funded by them.
What kind of places?
The displacers. The
Oh
revolution.
shit! Whoops! Fucking
in
omit that. Fuck! I didn't realize you said
My mic cut out.
displacers. Sorry.
That's fine.
All right, my bad. I'm gonna omit that statement, and we're gonna replace it with a better one that's more. So they're in cahoots.
Our intelligence lets me believe that.
Our intelligence.
Yeah, I ran into an old friend of mine at the general store. And I talked to him, and he talked to another friend of mine, and we discussed that your parents are alive. They're okay.
Both of them?
Both of them, yes. They're enforcing a lot of rules that I personally hate, but they're safe, and they know you're safe. At least they will know that you're safe, and you'll be back home soon. And that's it.
Sorry, they will know I'm safe?
Yeah, they currently have. I don't know if they know of your current whereabouts. They kind of do. There are a few select groups, may or may not be after you. They may or more. Uh, there's a group after you that wants to protect you and will kill me, and there's a group that will possibly kill you.
And kill you too, or protect?
Probably kill me too, but kill all of us actually. Um, but there is good news because I talked to Samuel, and he doesn't want you dead.
So you're telling me you talked directly to Sam here?
Kind of. My friend talked to Samuel, and um, Samuel's a good buddy of mine, and he told Samuel that you are fine and that there is nothing to worry about because you will be back home safely, and I will protect you.
You've been throwing around the word friend a lot. Do you mind elaborating on who you mean?
He saved my life. On my trip here, or I should say on my trip before to come find you, I was ambushed. I almost died, but I was brought back. I would have died if it weren't for him, and he was sent by Samuel. Any friend of Samuel's is a friend of mine.
I don't suppose you could describe this person to me, if I recognize him at all.
Fearbolg, Hood, magical,
Yeah, I have. Unfortunately, I have no recollection of such a person.
Oh, that's fine because he should be heading back to Ven, and we should be good as long as we get back to Ven as soon as possible. We'll be good. We'll be all good.
So you're telling me that you have several organizations after you wanting to kill you? Is that what you're saying?
Cyphus will turn to Raditz and go, "Well, I didn't know you were in this room at all."
Yes, I figured I'd wake you. I finished,
Did Raditz
Mark's
show
show.
up?
No,
No,
just
he's just been in here, just chilling.
Oh,
He was making a sword.
He's the
I thought
only
he
one
was
that's
in-
awake.
I thought he was away.
Yeah, I was awake doing a ceremony
Oh.
in the room.
He was doing a Indian dance.
Oh, then never mind.
Is that a Risk of Rain 2 reference?
Well, yeah. There are a few
So-
organizations after us.
That's ever so slightly concerning. I mean, I'm just a blacksmith.
And I'm just a criminal.
Well, I mean, this is more your specialty. I'm just very concerned about our odds here. I mean, Morik has the church at his back, but
And I have the displaces at mine.
I don't know. It's very concerning.
Well, of course it's very concerning. But if we infiltrate Stardust Syndicate, we'll find out exactly what's going on here.
I don't mean to interrupt your conversation, but I have a few concerns that have been bothering me over the course of.
Well, I would too if people were after my head. What are your
Right.
concerns?
I was under the impression my father was dead, and now I'm being told he's alive. I'm not sure who to believe.
So was I. I didn't know that he was alive.
I don't
That's
suppose you know why he was presumed.
well. I said don't count on your father being alive because a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people want him dead too. But he seems to be just fine. So currently in Ven, there is what I appear to be more of a peace going on as soon as you arrive. When you get there, you can fix all of this.
Despite being unable to take the throne.
No, because with you being there, we could, use you. Not use you in a sense of, like that, but you could help us. If you tell your father to revert some of the laws and fix a lot of the issues, we won't have a problem at all.
I'm sorry to say, but I know I was under a false impression now that I think about it, but if this is what you're banking on, you should know beforehand that my father is not one to give in to temptation, per se.
Look, Ilphus, he wants you alive. Clearly.
Yeah, they have been wanting me alive for a while. Yeah.
And he'll kind of mutter under his breath. At least I think so.
Carson, do I hear that or no?
Roll a perception check.
Oh, 14.
By the way, do I remember the Fearbulk's name?
Yeah, it was Kefir. It's with
Can
a
you
Q. I.
Send it in our chat.
No.
No! Okay, buddy.
Write it down, retard.
Kefir. Thank you.
Yes, so Carson, I got a 14.
Okay. I would like JJ to make a stealth roll.
Oh, good. Wait, stealth?
Yeah, don't roll with disadvantage. It's for verbal.
Okay, I was gonna say 19.
Wow. No, you
Alright.
do not catch it when he says it under his breath.
Yeah, I figured that out, Carson.
So,
There goes Reddit.
yeah. We won't worry about it right now. Eventually, is that all you guys want to have for your conversation?
I was we would still be going, but
Yeah, I'll say
did end then fine. But like I said, there's a lot more I want.
Well, what
I
else?
mean, how long have we been going for?
Well, let me. You guys finish your conversation.
Okay.
All right.
Well, when you get back to Ven, there's no problem. This will all be fixed.
I'm sorry.
And
Back
that's
to
it. Yeah. When we make our way back to Ven, your father will see you're alive and we'll fix all these problems. Not a big deal at all.
right. And you said one of your friends is going back to Ven too as well,
Kefir. Yep.
and that's the
Fearbolt.
right. Okay. I suppose Samuel is also going to be there.
He is already at Ven.
Oh, lovely. We'll have a nice little reunion and several cups of tea, and everything will be fine. And
I'd like to roll insight because that did not sound very.
That no, I'll say for Cyphus that was hard sarcasm.
That's a 12.
That was hard sarcasm that he gave you.
he just told you.
He's not necessarily. If he's trying to hide it, I would have you roll. But he's blatantly saying, "And everything will be fine, and everyone will have a nice cup of tea."
Several cups of tea.
Several cups of tea.
Well, luckily for you, I just bought some tea. Why don't we have some?
Yes, why don't we?
Great.
I have to laugh at that. That's really the tension.
Cyphus will pull out his blackberry tea.
Sorry.
I have this. A liter of it. Would you like some?
Maybe.
I just love to imagine Morak's actually just in his sleep, just burping. And every noise that comes out of Seth's microphone is what's happening with Morak.
Yeah, he shuffles around on his pillow, burps, maybe emits a fart or two every now and then.
Jesus Christ.
Did he just burp in
Regardless,
his sleep?
Typhus, we should probably skip these pleasantries and move on to the point I'm trying. You can put the tea back. I was talking when we reached. Not now, of course.
Look, Ilvis. We'll be fine. I promise.
You seem unsure.
I'm unsure about a lot of things.
Would you care to elaborate on those things? Just that way we're on the same.
Well, I don't know who I really work for. I don't know who is behind the Stardust Syndicate. I don't know who is funding our revolution. Who's funding us? It's odd, and I don't know who to side with. I mean, I've killed people.
Was
I've
that all
murdered
your?
people. No, sorry, I was reading the chat. Sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. Me too.
I've killed people. I've experimented on myself. I've done a lot of things that I'm not happy about. But in the end, I don't want to see you killed. So, hopefully that says something.
So, do you trust me, or do you just want me?
I trust you. And I want you alive.
Good. Well, I'm sorry to have you go through all the trouble of explaining yourself. I didn't mean anything personal, of course. I'm just.
It's fine. I just... It's rough. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who the syndicate are. I don't know who the extractors are. All I know is I'm a displacer. And I want freedom. You are the key to that freedom.
I made a promise that I would have you and your people get your freedom back, as I feel as though everything my father and quite possibly my mother have enforced on you and your people is very unfair. Then I don't intend to break that promise anytime soon.
Good. And I won't break mine either. I will protect you.
As
You
will
have
I.
my word. Well, I'm glad. Good to know that I have a friend from a side that I don't really expect.
Just know that when everything's all said and done, I still don't know if I want to stay and change things for the better or just go back to being on my own.
As long as I can live in peace in Ven and not be locked away in a dungeon, being who I am, and for something I was given, a gift that I had no control over, that's what I want. As long as I can live there and live my life, that's all I can ask for.
Then I will do my best to make that come true.
As will I.
Well then, we had a nice little chat. I would like to.
That's where we'll end it today.
Well, not yet.
Okay.
If that's all the conversation, Ilphus, you seemed like you wanted to say something.
Oh no, I was just saying I like to continue my meditation.
Okay. Ilphus will kind of reassure his position. Mork will roll his head over, roll his head back over. Little
Give a
tube will
bird.
come out.
Little fart.
Aster is just completely just gone. He's far into REM sleep.
Did Raditz hear all that?
Raditz did hear all of this, but
So,
I would just really quickly, I'd like Cyphus, when you're talking to Ilphus, you're facing him, I'd say Ilphus is right next to a window. And sitting on that window, you see that there's the wooden bird sculpture that Rakus made. And it's kind of sitting on that windowsill. Seemingly left there. Do you do anything about it, Cyphus, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I'll get up. I'll walk over to the little figure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick it up. And I'll hold it tightly in my hand. And I'll turn to everyone in the room. Where is he?
And with that, very far away, there is a blue tiefling walking along a road, going near what seems to be a port. He's striding along with his horse, and no longer working on any wooden sculpture, he enters this little snowed-in town, and he approaches a dock, and he gets off of his horse. He sits down, and his eyes are ice cold and almost completely white. And he stares out into the ocean, frozen ocean water, and he pushes himself off the dock and falls into the water. And that is where we'll end the Adventures of Venuru, episode 5. Very long personal session.
What the?
With me
He
and
just killed himself. He
Cyphus.
just committed suicide. Oh no!
Now,
Oh,
that's something that we don't see, obviously, right?
No.
Okay. Just to make sure.
Kind of concerned, not gonna lie, but hey, what can you do?
We will be live again next Saturday, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
we will.
Everyone here, right?
I don't have
Yep,
anything
mhm.
going on.
All right.
At 6:30, right?
Same time as always.
All right.
5:30 for
Arizona
everyone
time.
who's in
5:30.
California.
Yeah,
and-
5:30 Pacific.
If you want to,
Time.
we can even start early for me. I can't. Anybody else, I don't work next
I
Saturday.
feel like starting a little earlier might be a little better. Starting around
So-
like 4:30, just because like
4:30
4
p.m.
Whoa there.
4:30 for you, Carson.
Okay,
5:30
okay.
for us.
Ah,
Because
now-
I can start early. Don't work.
Okay.
yeah, I'm saying like, and we could discuss this off.
Yeah.
We'll discuss this off stream.
We
and
may or may
everything,
not
but-
start earlier next weekend, essentially. Jonathan, again, will not be with us next weekend, but
We'll see our hero one day.
Yeah, the
Eventually.
hero who just threw himself into the one day.
Yeah. One day he'll come out of the ocean and he's just gonna be, "Hey guys, what's up?" Just
Hey,
took a swim.
guys, hero here.
Yeah, no, that's just a joke. But, anyways,
and yeah, it was kind of fun. A lot of stuff happened.
It's fun for me. I got to do a lot this
The
session.
party doesn't know jack shit about what went down with Cyphus.
Yeah,
And it kind of sucks for them.
but
Kind of
the,
sucks for them, but
the audience knows. The audience knows a fuck ton, which is good.
yep. But thank you
Alright,
for
well-
tuning in, and we will
you.
see you next weekend.
Alright.
Bye
Bye, guys.